Hello, class. This is a short presentation about the Sepoy Rebellion in British India between the years 1857 and 1858, for use in that primary source activity you're doing about the rebellion. So here are maps showing the expansion of directly controlled British territory in India between 1765 and 1805. What you're looking at basically is areas of pink are direct British rule. Areas that are yellow are under control of basically independent sort of nations, semi-independent nations in a sense, but really they're called the princely states, and they are Hindu states that are under the control of the British Empire, more or less. Um, Gross oversimplification. That's kind of what you need to know. So the green areas are largely independent, but still associated with the British because they're part of India. The Mughals are basically in the northwest of the country on this first map. They represent that green swath of area. They're an independent nation, powerful Muslim empire, one of the so-called gunpowder empires, along with the Persian Empire and the Ottoman Empire, meaning they're kind of equal to Europeans, basically, as far as political and military control over areas. The British East India Company comes in, and they effectively, over several generations, destroyed the Mughal Empire. You may remember the British East India Company because they are the ones that were trying to sell tea in Boston and getting the British Parliament to basically create a monopoly for tea and partially creating the American Revolution. But they got that tea from India, particularly the island of Ceylon. You can see this image. You've got a British military officer or East India Company officer, because the company and the government were kind of intertwined, in an Indian assistant. So these Indian assistants are going to be what is kind of the start of the Sepoy Rebellion. You can see that by 1857, the green areas of independent Indian statehood are largely gone in India, and you have the princely states, which again are kind of vassals of the British Empire, but the British mostly control all of modern day Pakistan, the coast of modern day Myanmar or Burma, and there's just more and more Indian territory under direct control. As the British took over territory, they got the Indian populace into their political kind of system, because otherwise that continent of billions, I'm sorry, not billions at that point, but millions, could not have been controlled by the tiny island of Great Britain. So you've got native soldiers in British military uh, regiments, uniforms, really running the whole empire in India for the British. 1857, those same soldiers that have been keeping the British Empire in India intact rebel. And so this activity is about why this happened. So this rebellion, you can see it spreads, and you can look at this slideshow as well. I'm going to attach the assignment, but it spreads quickly into various areas of India, and there's probably a pattern you might be able to identify if you look at this more closely. Here's a British cartoon. You can see the heroic, justice smashing down the Sepoy Rebellion, and then the question you do again have to answer is what caused the Sepoy Rebellion.